Ladies and gentlemen, from around the world, here's Mario. Hello, it's me, Mario, and welcome to SMOKO with Mario, and I believe it is episode 12. I did make a gentle reminder to myself to remember or look it up beforehand, but as I think I've pointed out previously, SMOKO is always unscripted. We don't know what's going to happen, so fact checking and that sort of thing is, well, not really on the agenda for SMOKO. Yeah, it just, you just turn up and it happens. Sometimes you might plan and bring a little item along, in your pocket, something for the boys, that you might want to show or something, or perhaps a little video on your phone maybe that you sort of show around. But, yeah, generally largely unscripted, and that's part of the beauty of SMOKO, is that you just don't know what's going to bloody happen. It, all sorts of things. There is an element of planning in it, in that what am I going to have for SMOKO? Will it be a pie? Whatever. So as you can see, if you're going to bring a TV dinner to the party, you have to get a bit prepped up. I haven't as yet been able to sort of get into the real outdoorsy type SMOKO that quite often happens, that you get prepared for, particularly with the boys. But a chili bin or an esky for those across the other side of the Tasman features a big part of some SMOKOs. It's important that you get one that'll hold all your stuff nice and cool, and also one that you can sit on, so that you've got something. The top of the esky is your chopping board. There's all sorts of subtle nuances associated with SMOKO that hopefully we'll pick up over the various episodes. But today I've got a variation on a Kiwi classic. And you'll see as it unfolds. Now, typically you would buy a bag of buns, if depends on what size, how hungry you are or how you like things. But you go to the supermarket, and I've been to the supermarket early now. I had the choice of buying some buns, but I'm a big fan of this Mackenzie bread. This one's a purple wheat original southern loaf. This is the Mackenzie bread here. So that's my favourite. I don't eat a lot of bread these days. I try to stay away from the bread, as try and keep the weight down. So when I do eat bread, I like to go, for one of my faves. And my one is this Mackenzie bread. Although, other alternatives to this are the ciabatta bun, the ciabatta buns, or the, they've got various names, but the little bun about this big, baps, they're sort of known as sourdough. Hamburger buns, you can get those as well, and as well as the long rolls are all different options for this. But I've gone for the Mackenzie bread. So I'll just open that out, and there now. Usually most guys will have access to some good old, as Howie Jones, good old New Zealand grass-fed butter, and that is the point of difference. It's grass-fed. Now, so I'm going to get out just to start with. This is just 2 bits of this Mackenzie bread. Look at that, beautiful there. And over here is my good old Kiwi grass-fed butter. My wife keeps the butter in this on the bench so that we can use it. Now, I've got here one of these utility knives. I've I buy these ones because they got this flat back end that's not sharp, and so that's really good for spreading the butter. So, and it's got a sharp here for cutting up like onions or tomatoes or whatever. So, you know, a liberal amount of butter, like so, there, and both sides. The butter, you know, performs an interesting role. It tastes good, provides a bit of protein, but it also, to a degree, provides a bit of waterproofing for the bread, so it stops any of the juices going out here. Now, okay, then it's off to the deli, and we get some coleslaw from the deli. I've got some premium coleslaw. Yes, there was two. Oh, I need a cup of tea. I'm getting a wee bit dry. I mean, that's most important on the construction site, that you do keep hydrated. So, yep. So I got the expensive coleslaw here. Coleslaw, just coleslaw really, premium coleslaw. This one, I did ask the guy behind the counter. That's 200 grams there. Of coleslaw in one of these little containers here, and you know, always a bit of coleslaw. Finely chopped, and this one was the difference between this one and the other option there, which was a less finely chopped. This one's got onion, he said, and a bit of a tangy flavour. So, bit of coleslaw there. What I've forgotten today, and this is common with smokos, and this is why we have our smoko bag or chili bin. There, I've forgotten the salt and pepper, but that's fine. And then here I've got some chicken, shredded cooked cold chicken. $27 a kilogram. I've got 228 grams for $6 or something. So that you can buy this at the deli, or you can buy a whole roast chicken. That's another option. But I've just bought this. I didn't want to go for the whole roast chicken. You can see how the sharp knife's quite handy there. 1 minute it's a butter knife, and then next minute it's a sharp knife, and then we get the good old shredded chicken here, and just put that on the sandwich there, like that. A little bit of shredded chicken. You got to obviously the shredded chicken, you want to either buy it round Smoko if there's a supermarket handy, or this is where you need your chili bin or something, so that you can keep it nice and cold and doesn't get heated up and so on. So yep, that's that there, all done, and that goes, as I say, that goes on there. I like to try and get the two slices out, try and meet them up like that, so that when you put them together, they fit, you know, they're the right size, and then give that a good old squash down. I've got a little chopping board here. Now this, you can use the top of your thing. I actually did think to bring a big knife here, but I don't know. Typically I'd cut that in half, but I might just cut that in threes like that, and just for the sake of today, just to make it a bit easier to handle. So, well, perhaps it might not be. So I'll take this middle bit. Oh no, that probably wasn't a good idea. But anyway, there you go. The good old chicken and coleslaw semi. Available at most supermarkets near you. So, that's oh yeah, fresh, chickeny, with a bit of coleslaw. Bloody marvellous. Yep. That's your pretty much a Kiwi staple here. Especially for summer. Iconic, almost at iconic status. So, you know, you had a day at the beach or something like that. I mean, this is not only a smoko treat, but you've had a hard day at the beach. The kids, you know, you've had your ice cream on the way home, and kids are a bit grizzly in the back of the car, and you don't really want to go home and, you know, cook up something for tea. So you're into the bloody supermarket, get a few buns, some coleslaw and cold chicken, and off you go home. Afternoon on the deck. The kids can pretty much make their own, and away you go. Bloody marvellous. Yeah. Very, very well respected Kiwi staple, this one. So yeah, get that into you. And a nice old cup of tea. And if you're extra lucky, the Moz 42 cup. From far north Queensland. I know Moz is a very good supporter of my channel, and he usually watches this, so I hope everything's well from here. I'm getting a bit of news that there's some tornadoes due up and around that area, so I hope everything's tied down, and yeah, you're all hunkered down and ready to deal with it. Bloody weather. The weather here has been today's been very grey day. I had a bit of a wind this morning. Moz does a good morning tea smoko. He goes out on his bike and goes to various locations, records his smoko. He makes mostly his own sandwiches. Most of mine, I think all of mine so far have been bought. So, yeah, different approach, but same result, a full belly and a happy day. So, yeah, the weather. It was pissing down when I went to go this morning, and I was driving in, and usually I park a good distance from the hospital. One, because it's free, and two, because I get a nice good long walk in, which gets my steps up for the day, so sort of fits in with my program, and yeah, gets me gets everything going. So this morning I thought, I'm not going to walk in that rain. I don't want to get wet, so I thought, I'll bite the bullet, and I'll go into the hospital car park. It cost me $7.50 to park in there, $7.50, but it is dry, so I get in there, it's undercover, I walk straight into the hospital, and yeah, there's no, yeah, don't get wet or anything like that, so yeah, that's bit of a bonus. So yeah, off I went and I drove in, and bugger me, the bloody arms were up. Free parking. Thank you, Waikato District Health Board. Bloody marvellous. So in I went, and a little bit apprehensive. I thought, oh, I hope I can get out of here without having to crash through the barrier. But no, it all went well. So didn't get wet. Free parking, but not a lot of steppage today. So yeah. So that's that was a real good bonus there. So this week, how's this week been? Well, it's been an interesting week. The last week of term or the semester, the students sort of, I don't know, they sort of get a mess or an idea in their head that it's revision week, so they don't really need to, coming to class is not so key or important as it used to be. So yeah, the numbers were a bit light, but the students there were pretty well engaged and in good mood and things like that. So I quite enjoyed the week actually. And well, we do a lot of revision in the second week, to be fair. So we're not introducing too much new material or anything like that. So yeah, it's all yeah. There's not so much planning needed or preparation and things like that. So it's a nice, easy week. It's what I would call a normal week. The other 14 weeks are usually bloody manic because you're trying to organise things and mark stuff and get it done. So, yeah, pretty nice, normal, relaxed week, or what I would call it. So now we're moving into exam week. So the students be getting ready for exams. And yeah, nothing spectacular, too spectacular happened during the week. Going forward, exam week, 2 weeks of exams, so no doubt I'll have some invigilation to do where we supervise the exams, and then a bit of marking, resulting, and this is, well, the exam's 2 weeks and then 3 week break, and in that 3 week break we do marking and resulting, and then we prepare for the next semester, so sort of rinse and repeat. So there's no real let up really. There's always stuff to do. It's not till the end of the year that we can sort of say, well, that's job done, and sort of have a wee bit of a break where there is actually nothing to do before we start into the next semester, or the first semester of 2022. So yeah, that's all going, yeah, heading along. Got a few things changing. So we've got, as I say, the start of semester 2, 2021. So let's hope that goes smoothly and rocks along. So yeah, these sandwiches take a fair bit of eating. So I am keen to get SMOKO with MAURIEO on the road. For a start, on the road, ideally with a guest, maybe someone to join me for SMOKO and help with a little bit of banter and a little bit of reminiscing and what have you. But yeah, get out on the road. But well, tomorrow is the shortest day, so, and then it'll be a couple of months before there's a lot of daylight around that we can sort of go sort of out on the road, so to speak. it might be, you know, a few nice winter afternoons come up, and I may be able to head out and get something done like that. But you know, in terms of stuff after work and things like that, not so much. So working on it though, certainly. Get that tea. So these sandwiches take a fair bit of eating, as you can see. See, one of those, you know, it's taken a while. I mean, I'm only doing a little bit of chat and stuff like that, but yeah. So let's see what happens. Nothing like a good location for your smoko. You know, a beach or a, you know, a park or a river beside a lake. They just make it more memorable and a lot more fun. Or the smoko shed. Always interesting in the smoko shed. Yeah, smokos at work this week. Nothing. Oh. I caught up with one of my colleagues for a bit of smoko during the week, Joe Gentlecore, and yeah, we were sitting down talking about talking. We usually talk a little bit about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and that, as he follows along with that, and he's got a little bit. I haven't. I pretty much I stick with well, I like to stick with land. I feel that's the best investment, but you know, the way things are going here, landlords are not looked on very favourably. But yeah, our tenants are usually pretty happy. Stay for a long time and get a pretty good deal, I reckon. But you know. So yeah, that's I have had a go at the share market way back with well, I found out how to make a small fortune on the share market, and that's to start with a very large fortune. But yeah, that's a whole other story. Perhaps for another day. But you know, we were talking a little bit about the Bitcoin and things like that, and we were sitting away there, and my RJ, my sort of friend, a good friend at work, who we started work on the same day, and we've sort of hung out together ever since, I guess, came in and said, "Oh, you two should take a photo." So I set up the snooper, and I have it on a time lapse, which takes a photo every 0.2 of a second. And Joe said, "Oh, we should," and he threw something up in the air saying, "You know, you should be able to capture that." And I did manage to capture it too, which was yeah, pretty good there. So I got that. That was one of my Instagram photos for the day last week. And yeah, caught a little bit of attention from students who know both of us. So yeah, I'm quite proud of that one. It was pretty good. I photoshopped in a picture of what's his name? David Copperfield, the magician. David Copperfield, the magician. So got that in there. Now, I was in at Countdown, and I was in the bakery there looking at the buns before I decided to go to the Mackenzie bread there, which I've now got to eat that for the rest of the, well, until it's gone. So I might have another chicken and coleslaw sandwich. Obviously, there's not enough time in the episode to do that, but we've got all the things there. And I had to go past the date scones. Now, these Countdown date scones, yeah, I have big trouble walking past them. So, yeah, I've got one here. Good old Kiwi grass-fed butter, which I shouldn't be eating too much of. But anyway, that should keep me happy. All right. Put that away there. And, so yeah, the old date's gone. Now, I think I might have had these last week. Well, I've only just discovered that at the Countdown at Te Rapa, they have these there pretty much 24/7. So it's going to be hard to walk past these. But anyway, the best date scones I've found around. And that includes your fancy ones and your cafes and what have you. I think the fanciest date scone I ever encountered was out at the creamery out by the airport. Their date scones come in a little clay flower pot. They cook it in a clay flower pot with and a little bit of cream and jam. I must say I do like the cream and jam. Yeah, it's a bit too poncy for smoko shed. Little whipped cream and jam. I don't know. You'd get a bit of flack for that, I think. But yeah, they were nice. But yeah, twice the price of these ones, and well, on a par, I reckon. It came in a bloody flower pot. God save us. Imagine that in the smoko shed. I can't imagine the type of conversation that would generate, to be fair. So, yeah, I don't think I'm going to finish this before the end of the show, but, oh well, we'll give it a good go. And I'm just getting through my cup of tea here. Good old English breakfast, Twinings. Very nice. So, yeah, we move into the first week of exams. We'll see how that goes, and hopefully we'll be back sometime next weekend for another Smoko with Maurio. Thanks for joining me today, where we had the Mackenzie bread, coleslaw and chicken supermarket sandwich with the good old Countdown date scone. I hope you enjoyed just following along there and maybe get some good smoko ideas. Comments below the video there, and if you see a way that you could join me or maybe include one of your products or something in my smoko, feel free to message me in the comments or catch me at maurieos@maurieos.com. So yeah, thanks for dropping by. You've all been bloody marvellous. Cheers. See you. And that's all for this week. Stand by for the next exciting episode. You've been bloody marvellous.